Keith, what are you doing?
Well, I'm writing us a theme song.
Wow.
Well, we need a theme song. Let me show you how it goes, okay? Mike's money doesn't jingle jingle, it folds. It's not new, it's old. Come on down, get a good deal. He's Mike. Why are you looking at me like that for? Welcome!
Hey, everybody.
It's good to see everybody coming back for London Coin and Collectables. I apologize that we didn't have a full video last week. We had, unfortunately, some scheduling conflicts, and Brother Mike's church was in revival last week, and it was just crazy. But we're back this week, and we are so excited.
Oh, so excited.
We are in our shop. It's open. Now, our official open date is still going to be September 1st.
Right.
The contractors have got just a little bit of stuff to do, but for the most part, we are definitely open for business.
Yes.
Mike has got his display cases in there. He's got all sorts of stuff.
Got a few more we still got to put in by Friday. So.
And if you've been watching any of the shorts, you know that he is super excited for you to come down and to visit. So you can call. There's the number down there in the bottom. You can text if you'd like. If you prefer to text him, you can email him at londoncoinbuyer@gmail.com.
Right, and also I've had people messaging the London Coin Facebook page. I've not done a lot with it, but guys, just be patient with me as we go through this process. I'm learning a lot about the retail side of it. I've been doing coins for a while, but I promise you there's going to be some great pictures going on the Facebook page here soon. There's going to be a lot of different information going on it. So make sure you do look up London Coins and Collectible on Facebook. And here soon, you'll have a lot more stuff that'll be on there for you all to see. But I do appreciate those that have been messaging. I can't wait to meet you all. You ought to come out and see us.
All right. So we've got a new background, okay? Eventually, we'll get the American flag put back in. We like to do that because we're very historical and patriotic.
Very patriotic and historical.
But we're in our actual showcase right now with the display cases out. And so we're right here in the middle of the grand area.
Mm-hmm.
It smells good and it looks good.
Yeah, I'm just thrilled to death how everything's came together and everything's coming together. God's been real good on this, real good.
Yep. We started this project all the way back in the first week of June.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
And it's just amazing how time has gotten away from us. It's burned up, but it's a reality now, and we're so thankful. Lord's been good to us.
Yes,
been good
very,
to us.
very good to us. Very good.
We have talked about coins the first 8 episodes that we've done of the London Coin and Collectables. We've done some general coin information,
right?
Just little things about coins, just some crap, some simple overview of a lot of the
general knowledge, just some different
like
things like the mint marks, the obverse, reverse. We did one on the counterfeits and some things to look for.
Yeah.
And I do want to promote this too, is while we're on here, the brand new Red Book. We have it in stock. Would love for you to be able to come down and get it and have one of these in. It's a book that will tell you the value of your coins, but also will help you with the weight of authentic coins and the dimensions. So you need to get one of those Red Books. They're very, very handy. The little ones are $16 and the big ones are $26.
Okay.
There's no different information in them. It's just like it's like buying a Bible. You want small font or larger font.
Yeah.
So that's really what it's about.
And since we are rather advanced in age now, we like the big font.
I love the big font. I have converted completely to Bible and in the Red Book.
Me too. And so, since we've been talking about coins, we thought we would expand because numismatics, talking about money collecting, is huge. There is so much to this. I was watching a YouTube video this week about a Disney dollar that sold for $9,000. It graded at this is a Disney dollar. This isn't even a real American dollar. It's the old Disney dollars that you used to be able to purchase at the park.
Right.
It graded at an MS-70. Paper money. and it garnished over $9,000. So coins is one part, but there's also other parts to this hobby and to this lifestyle.
There is.
And one of the big ones is paper money.
Yes.
And we've had paper money forever. For as long as you can remember, we've had different denominations of paper money. Mm-hmm. But there's a lot that is awesome, old, historical, collectible, special edition, silver certificates. It goes on and on. So,
right.
Brother Mike, share with us some of your grand knowledge.
Well, so as far as the bills, I just now shipped a Black Eagle. I had the one we sold it. I'm very blessed. We do come into some great contact with some great older bills, but there is such a large variety. I just off the top of my head, you have what we call the Black Eagle bill. We have also what they used to do is like an artwork currency that they called it educational money. That literally, because the country was so young at the time and there were so many very rural areas, they actually would print artwork on the back of the bills, and we had those that went out. And then you have different when the gold buy happened in 1933, when they said you couldn't own but only so many ounces of gold. There was people that that had a lot of money in that, and so they came out with the large gold bills, like the $1,000, the $10,000. So as far as currency, it's and then of course our country was divided at the time of the Civil War. We not only have a vast amount of what I would call the American currency, but also you have a Civil War currency, which would be from the Confederate States of the South. We have the currency that is collectible through that as well. And then whenever you start going through that, then you've got things like paper bonds, things that were issued out at the house. I don't have it here. It's not for sale because it's so frail and it's so gentle that I wouldn't actually ever bring it out again. I've got it just kind of sealed up at the house. But I have what's called a cotton bond, and a cotton bond, they're not super rare. The one I happen to have is just so delicate I can't get it out anymore. But they are out there. But they're awesome bonds. What you literally did is you pledged your cotton at the end of the year for the amount of currency that you receive, and you said, well, that's very unusual. Well, that's not a whole lot different than our money system right. that we have even up until today. It used to be on the bond of the person than the individual, and now it's on a national type debt. So but you have all kinds, and then you've got some really cool stuff, which I've got a large variety of these that I happen to have in stock. And this here is what we call military payment certificates. You have different years that these were out. The ones that I have are from World War II in this specific folder. And what this was, these were ration money. This was money that was directly sent over for our military personnel to use. And you say, well, now that's really neat, but it doesn't look nothing like our currency. Well, here's really what's crazy. Is that's not the only currency that was ever done like that. I don't have any Hawaiian bills out here, but this here is what we call the North African bill. You'll see a different seal on this particular bill there. That's the $10 gold seal. This right here were put out in World War II when President Eisenhower issued emergency funds to our boys that were fighting in World War II. And you have which we'll touch more on that here in a minute, but I'm just trying to give you varieties now. But you actually have Hawaii bills too that were the same type of issue. And if I'm not mistaken, it was Operation Torch is what he called it when he got those all sent out to everybody.
Fantastic. So people who collect paper money, okay, mm-hmm. Can paper money be graded like coins are graded?
Yes.
And what are some factors that would affect how a piece of paper grades?
Well, this would be a perfect example. I actually happen to have two of them sitting here. They're different seals, but they got the same kind of numismatic look. But this here, this is a blue seal. I'll hold it up here. And then this blue seal, you will see that there's no creases, no lines. The corners are crisp. They're not dented or bent in any way. Well, this would be considered an uncirculated bill. This bill here is a $5 red note bill, but you can see that there's clearly been lines. It has been folded. And so what they do is when they start breaking down the grade on these, this is like coins. They're going to have everything from good to very good to fine, very fine, and it goes on up to uncirculated, and then brilliant uncirculated would be something that's completely pristine, and then the grade is just like coins. So you have the lowest value to the highest value.
What is the highest value you can get for a paper currency?
Paper currency can hit just like coins. It can be mint state
70?
70 across.
Okay. All righty. So who grades paper money?
The same guys that do the money. You got PCGS, NGC does the currency as well, and they're very reputable. Just like you would send in your coins, you would send your money in to be graded as well.
Fantastic. So what are maybe 5 things that would make paper money valuable, highly collectible, highly desirable?
Well, number one, it'd be like anything else. The amount that was actually produced, or what we call, as far as what came out of the mints, that would be the first thing to look for. Anything that is low mintage is normally usually very sought after from collectors. Also, it's some of the rarities, such as star notes, such as weird or low serial numbers. And then, and just rarity in and of itself, stuff that, like the Confederate money is very popular because after World War II, a lot of it was destroyed. It was devalued through a slow process. It was weaned out to go back to the federal side of it. So stuff like that would cause a lot of value. And then when you get down to it, it's condition. It's always about condition. You can have something that is rare. You can have something that is low mintage. But if it's destroyed, it's not going to bring the value that's something like this uncirculated $5 bill. This is a pristine $5 bill. I'm not saying it's a 34 D. And then you have different years as well, like the 28 and the 29. They are years where money was not made as much. And actually, we have a star note $2 bill right there. I have a star note $5 bill as well. But you notate the star on the bill, and that right there is what makes them valuable.
Fantastic. So let's say that I was going through my billfold and I came across a $1 bill, and the serial number was 7777777777.
Yeah. So there is an entire forum. There's an entire collectible side to strange serial numbers, and they have a lot of them. You've got the same number. You have they'll have the ones that's the birth dates. They'll have which would be like just a random bunch of zeros, and then have like it looks like a month and a year, or month and a day in a year, and then you'll have the ones that go frontwards. Let's say like 1, 2, 3, 4, and then it's backwards. If you read from the right to left, it's 1, 2, 3, 4.
So like a palindrome.
Like a palindrome, yeah. So you have all these different serial numbers that people collect. That if they have a very weird, take if you have one that's got a lot of threes, or it's just people collect different things. And when it comes to serial numbers, now I'm gonna be honest with you, you're opening up a whole different book as far as collectible, because people really that are into serial numbers, that are into collecting these things, they're really looking for those odd serial numbers. But you do have so many different types of things that do make things valuable. Like for instance, I was talking about the military money. You have guys that collect, World War II. Just being a World War II collector, they'll want different types of currencies, and sometimes they're willing to pay even more. You got Civil War collectors that are not really interested in the numismatic side, but they love the historical side. And I think that's something that's so fun about what we do with the numismatics, is that you have so many different types of collectors that I think that it affects in so many different ways.
Fantastic. All right, so I have a red stamped $2 bill that my grandpa gave me as a kid, and I've kept it all these years. Right. Is it worth anything?
Yes, it is. We need to look at it. I will tell you one thing that I do get a lot of questions. People say, I've got this, what's it worth? Whenever I talk about rarity, serial numbers, you've got to look at the entire bill. It is something that I cannot, just by mentally hearing what you're saying, give you even a fair assessment on value. But what you can do is bring it in, and just like books for coins, we have books for bills, and not only do we have books on, but a lot of the general knowledge of what you look at as far as being a numismatic collector. When I look at a bill and I know I want a certain type of bill, I know the kind of condition it should be in that's going to make it worth more than its face value. And if you have a red seal too, a lot of people don't understand the seal part of it, but the yellow seal, or what we call a gold seal. What the gold seal is that was in the day pre 1933. I think it started in 1863. That was the currency used when you had a gold seal. Now, the North African bill that I showed you, that's not what that stands for. That stands for something else, because that was a special edition during World War II. But on a normal gold seal bill, which I do have them from time to time, that means that our country backed that currency with gold. So if I held that, that means that I held so much value in gold at that time. And then you have like the blue seal. The blue seal was a direct silver backing. That is these right here, like on the $5 bill, you see that the blue seal. That is a direct silver backing. That means that whatever you had, it was worth exactly that in the property of silver. And it started in 1878, and the U.S. government quit backing it in 1968. So up until 1968, if I had a $5 bill, I would be allowed to go in there and get $5 worth of rounds from the bank in place of my $5 bill. And then when you talk about the red seal, now the red seal is a little bit different. And I'm going to tell you why. The red seal, whenever you look at those, what you have started doing is this was no longer backed by gold or silver. And in fact, what I call these, and I wrote it in my little notes. My wife tells me to make notes, so I don't do run-ons. But in my notes on the red seal, I simply put IOU. What the red seal was that the government was backing it with debt. This is the first time that the thought process instead of backing it with a transit value such as gold or silver was that they were literally just going to back it by debt. In other words, they just pretty much, it was an IOU. You give somebody a $2 red bill, you were telling them, I owe you. That's what that's for. So that was how our currency started being used as a debt part instead of a backing part. And then you have what we have today, what we call the green seal. And the green seal is a fiat currency. And that simply just means I decree to you, or I pledge this to you. It's a pledge system, because a lot of people don't know this. Our Federal Reserve is no longer even owned by the government. It's no longer ran by the government. The Federal Reserve is actually a private entity.
Yes.
So,
yeah. All right. That is some vast, deep, quick information about collecting bills. Mm-hmm. But you do buy bills, right?
I do buy bills, and would love to see any type of bills you have. And you say, well, I've only got a $1 blue seal, and somebody told you that $1 blue seals don't bring much money. Well, I want to show you just a couple of uncirculated $1 blue seals that I have. These are what we call true silver certificates. And then I'll show you something else that I thought you all would think was pretty neat. If I don't break it here to get it up, but I'll hold it here for the big camera, and then I'll hold it over here for the little camera. These are not only uncirculated $1 blue seals, but also these are ordered sequence serial numbers. So this right here, this appeals to both serial number collectors and currency collectors. So there's just a lot of cool stuff that's out there, and there's a lot when it comes to bills, because you may have something that looks like a coupon book. We've got those that don't have any out. We just don't have room right now to take other showcases out. We'll get those out next time. But you could have a coupon book, which are ration books, and those are all fall into currency. There's a lot of people do not realize how much currency, different types we've had in this young country.
That's awesome. So what is the most valuable paper money that you've ever held or seen?
$10,000 bill.
The $10,000. You've held a $10,000.
I've held a $10,000 bill. Yeah, and I didn't buy it or own it. I didn't own it.
Was it what denomination was it?
It was a $10,000 bill.
Oh,
gold certificate, yeah.
So,
they were producing them and such. So the reason we had those bills in the 1933 circulation, I don't know if you all know this or not, but our country hit was of course was in the midst of the Depression, and it was hitting a lot of hard times. And it may actually have been pre-33, but you have to check me on the date. But it was somewhere around that area. What happened is that our president at the time recalled gold. So roughly the numbers was the people sold the gold back for, let's say, I'm just using round numbers. You have to look up the exact. It's hard to memorize everything as you start to forget birthdays when you do that. But say $700 an ounce, and then they valued it at $900. So what it did, it boosted the American economics, and what it did is started putting money back into the government that was reeling from the fall of Wall Street at the time. So they would create, because you had people who had a lot of gold, and I believe at the time you're only allowed to own, it was up to 2 ounces of gold for a private individual, and it was a federal crime to own any more than that. That's why you heard about people sending gold coins. Right now we've got a lot going on where they're bringing double eagles back from overseas because very wealthy people sent their gold currency over to Europe to be hidden and protected. They didn't want to lose it. Well, they're now allowed to extradite that back. But back then, what they did is very wealthy people who owned a lot of gold were able to turn those in, and they literally had to create these extravagant bills to cover the currency, the gold buys that they were doing. So, and that's what makes them super rare too, because never in the history of this country, and I may be wrong, so I'm not real proficient on overseas as far as large historical on their paper currencies and as far as Europe and Asia. But I do know here in America it's never happened. I don't think it's ever happened anywhere in the world where they produce such large currency to be packed around by individuals.
That's just absolutely amazing.
Yeah, there was I had one silver round. It was like this big around, and I want to say it was the Philippines. It could have been Cuba, but they actually put that out as currency. That was the biggest coin ever.
That'd be hard to carry around in your back pocket.
Yeah, you'd have to chunk it out when you pay for your groceries and stuff.
There you go. All right. Well, tell them.
Listen, we'd love to have you down here. If I'm gone to lunch or anything, you come by. The door's not open. It should be open Monday through Saturday. If I'm not here, please call me at 606-401-7025. Please email me if you'd like to make an appointment to make sure that I am going to be here. You just want to meet me and talk to me about some of your coins and stuff, please. LondonCoinBuyer@gmail.com. Please don't hesitate to do so. And we look forward to doing business with you. If you're buying or selling, whatever your need is, we have all the different types of collectibles and stuff as well. Please come check us out.
Fantastic. And Mike's money doesn't jiggle. It folds. Don't you like my theme song at all?
No, not at all.
No.
We're going to keep working. You just pray for us.
See y'all later. God bless.
God bless y'all. Thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome. What was that about? You're welcome.
That was